Hello everyone, Sol Invictus here. Welcome to game 2 of Bobby versus Azure. Azure will be commanding Galatia, and we've got Bobby using Tylus. Faction-wise, Tylus should have an upper end under the rule set Barbarian Warlord, which is 12 infantry max, 7 melee max, 4 of the same max. So yeah, slightly, so it's gonna make Tylus very strong, especially with the access to those Trajan Peltas. And so, for Azure's build, we're going to see Galatian Sword. That's going to be 3 of them. Then there's going to be 4 Galatian Legionnaire, backed up by 2 Cappadocian and 1 Noble Cav for the skirmishing contingent. We have Celtic Slingers, 3 Celtic, 2 Syrian Archers, 2 Galatian Spears there up front as a Meachill. For Mr. Bobby, the Meachill is going to be composed of 2 Levy Freemen, 1 Spear Warrior. That seems to be 4 Slingers. Indeed it is. Tribal Warrior, Oath Sword, Tribal Warrior. And same thing on that side, and a Celtic Warrior in the center. For the Cavalry, he's going to have a Noble Horse and 3 Thracian Cavalry. Also, 3 Galatian Raiders for our friend Azure. So the Cavalry superiority is going to go to Galatia, but it's very expensive cavalry, and there's a lot of javelins on the battlefield, so it's always hard to make that happen. The skirmishing pace relatively even right now. We've got 58. Okay, nice job by Azure. He's able to hurt the Trajan Cav. It is a cheap unit, so not the end of the world. Bobby trying to lure in a Jav volley, very nice. We'll see a focus fire on the tribal right off the start. This is what Galatia has to do if they want to win against a faction like Tylus. It's going to be about drawing in the mid-tier sword and the old sword, best case scenario, towards the fight. Try to kite them a little, do the damage you can with your Syrian Archers and Celtic Slingers. Definitely requires a lot of synchronization to beat Tylus with Galatia. I like that move. It seems like the Galatian Raiders going in for Jav volley at Tribal Warrior. Absolutely important. If you get a chance to do it, do it. That's a way that Jadcat can be used. That's very efficient. Oof, those Celtic Warriors are getting absolutely pummeled by a lot of missiles. Are we going to see them drop? Oh, yes we are. So that unit already lost 20 men. Yeah, exactly. Now it's going to be time to focus on the Tribal Warriors. It seems like the Galatian Spear is being sent in for a precursor. I guess we'll see it retreat. Yeah, beautiful. So you see the resources he uses to try to damage those Tribal Warrior. That's something you want to do against a very strong unit like that. Just use resource against them, use your precursors against them. I kind of wish we'd see some Levy Freemen for that exact reason. Wow, look at that. Galatian Sword getting a shot in the Tribal. That Tribal is not having a good time at all. Already lost 20 men. Trying to get into the fight. No, they're being pulled back, retreated, but that means it's gonna get shot in the back. Beautiful job by Azure so far, damaging those key units. We're gonna see another Tribal Warrior pushing in, as well as the Oath Swords squaring up. I would assume we're gonna see Azure changing target soon, because he practically rendered those units. I don't want to say useless, but he damaged them to the point where they're not gonna perform as they're supposed to. We need to be careful there. Some shots are being used onto the Levy Freeman. It seems like we're still firing at the Celtic Warrior. I'm sure we'll see a new target soon. On this side, not much happening. That Galatian Spear is taking, slowly but surely, some damage from the Slingers. I'm not quite sure I agree with that move. Oh, cheeky charge on the center. Syrian Archers, are we doing? Oh, it seems like the Cav did reach them. That Thracian Cav is going to be out the battlefield, but we see a beautiful move by Bobby, a focus fire on the Syrian Archers with the Slingers. So that's the Syrian Archers actually going to take a beating, and that's a good move to do, gentlemen. Sometimes when your cavalry has expended all its ammunition, just send it in the front line of your enemy to create a blob and then just rain missile fire into it. Galatian Spear slowly but surely dying. What this means is that Bobby is now gonna get the upper hand into starting the fight because there's no longer any meat shield. Okay, we got a Node Sword pushing in. We'll see a focus fire on it at any time now. 100%, yes indeed. So we're gonna have Celtic Slinger as well as Assyrian Archers and another Celtic firing at that Oathsworn. Now those Galatian Legionnaires are getting in range. Pulling back. Ooh, that was a dual jab volley. Look at those switcheroo from Asuror. He ends up pulling the right side one and engaging with the Galatian Legionnaire. I believe he did that to open up the angle of the missiles. Although if he took the fight with that Galatian, the angle would have been better. That Oathsworn's getting absolutely melted. So Asuror so far effectively damaging the wing of Bobby big time. We've got the Node Sword down. We've got a Tribal Warrior down. The Celtic Warrior is a gunner. Yeah, Bobby really wants those Galatian Spear at the battlefield. We'll see a cheeky charge from the Galatian into the Thracian Peltas. This won't achieve much, but look. So we did that to put them down. Then the Cappadocian Cab is going to have a good time charging into those units, being reinforced by the Galatian Legionnaire. We should see that Tribal Warrior now. Although it is being reinforced by a very reality one. Slingers are starting to rout. Good move by Bobby. Baiting in a jab volley with the Levy Freeman, pulling them back last second. It seems like Asuror wants to start the fight in the center. Never mind. I think what Asuror needs to do now is to pull back. Yes, that's exactly what he's gonna do. Good move. Pull back, get your shots in, set up your archers in the back in a position where they can fire for an extended period of time. Noble Horse is gonna absolutely wreck the center. No. He's luring in the Noble Horse, which is gonna be jabbed beyond recognition there. 15 main loss already. That was brutal. Bobby's general's taking a bit of fire, so also there's a focus fire there on that unit. Tribal Warrior is gonna wreck the Galatian. Then we see that Galatian Legionnaire while charging the Oathsworn. So the left flank of Bobby is gonna be a solid victory. Although his right flank is starting to crumble slowly but surely. Nasty. Very good move by Bobby there, reinforcing the Oathsworn so that they can then proceed to get a rear charge into the Galatian Legionnaire. The Galatian Legionnaire have good moral considering their price, 860 moral. It's a good bargain, but still, rear charging in this game is really clutch. Not only does it affect the moral, but what it does is also lowers the stats of the unit that's being rear charged. Same goes if you get a flank charge on a unit that's already engaged, it does a penalty to them, but the one from the rear is the greatest of the penalty. And fair enough, we're seeing the Galatian swords routing already. That Galatian Legionnaire's got about 20 seconds left in it, I would say. Syrian Archers 9 kill, which means they're still full on ammunition, trying to get to the general. Okay, so still a fair amount of ammunition, it seems like, for 61 kills. Not a lot of ammo there left for sure. Oh, are we gonna see a rear charge? Oh no. Asuror is gonna get a bit greedy there and end up going for the Slingers. These Slingers had 108 kills, which means they had no ammunition left. If he had went for that rear charge, the Tribal Warrior, which is that steady, would have routed instantly. So a bit of a greedy move to get kills on a Slinger unit that was already useless at this point. And he's gonna end up paying for it dearly. At least here he could have gotten a break and relocate that Galatian Legionnaire. But again, these are mistakes that are easy to see when you're not playing and you're watching the replay. But in the fire of the action, it's completely normal to make those types of mistakes. Okay, well, the right turns out to go into the Tyler's favor. And that's just the sheer OP-ness of Tylis right there, because Azeroth did outplay Bobby early in the game. The only place where Bobby seemed to have been outplaying his opening is on the skirmishing phase. And on that side also he wrapped it up real good. Okay, how are we doing on cavalry? So Thracian Cav for Bobby, Galatian Raider, a bit of a Cappadocian left, Noble Horse, both of them pretty damaged. We see Focus Fire there, good job. Bobby's been relentless with his Focus Fire. Oh, look at that, Mercenary Thracian Peltas. Firing into the flank of those out of ammunition Syrian archers, and most importantly the Galatian legionnaires. You see them reforming, that's because their flank is melting, look at that. The units in the back come and fill up the gap. Tough one. So the balance of power is in Bobby's favor, definitely. And it makes sense, because we have Tribal Warrior, 2 of them, 3 units of Tribal Warriors, 1 Old Sword left. Yeah, no, that's a tough one. Nice job by Bobby. Hurting the enemy general. I'm not sure if the general has died yet. No, both general are still alive at this point. That unit should have been out of the battlefield earlier with that general push in the center. What a shame. And this effectively led to the Old Sword getting a rear charge on the Galatian Legionnaire. So as you see, those little mistakes are what loses or win you a battle. Most of the time, if you get the chance to go into enemy slingers or rear charge, the right thing to do is to rear charge. Of course, that depends, like how well can the slingers be reinforced by the opponent. If you get like absolute free access, then I get it. But if you end up just charging in the slinger and then getting pinned down, your cavalry getting pinned down, it's never worth it. R.I.P. Okay, let us fast forward the end of that battle, because it's definitely going in the favor of Bobby. Yep. GG to Azeroth, that was a beautiful attempt, great micro, but he had the lesser faction and that showed. If we look at the stats, the Syrian archers doing a good job, the Celtic slingers doing fantastic early game, absolutely shredding that tribal warrior. The Old Sword got shredded by them, but also combined with precursors from the Galatian Legionnaire. So take note, people, that was a beautiful play by Azeroth. That Celtic Warrior getting absolutely shredded. The Celtic Slingers from Bobby are getting quite a lot of kills. Beautiful performance there, sir. Mercenary Thracian Peltas being absolutely clutch in this battle. 1 Old Sword doing great. The mid-tier, 2 of them doing, 1 of them doing fantastic, the 3 other not so much. But they did much better than the Galatian Legionnaires. Fair amount of kill on that Galatian. Yeah, that was a tough fight for Azeroth. His cavalry was used pretty well, at the exception of not going for the rear charges. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed that battle. I will be back for Game 3 because the best of 3 did get extended by Bobby's victory. So looking forward to see what Game 3 has to bring to us. Sol Invictus signing off.